Hi everyone, Esther here, and thank you for tuning to my channel. Today it's an unusual video I'm dedicating to my dear teacher, Karen Burke, the wife of my teacher, Rav Burke. Karen left the world a few years ago on the day of 9 of Av, and tomorrow night and Friday night of Tisha B'Av, 9 of Av, it's the day of elevation of her soul. And when righteous soul leaves this world, they usually take a lot of negativity with them in order for us to have an easy time, and they leave legacy behind. And 9 of Av, it's considered one of the most negative day of the year. You can imagine to have such a merit, and in the same time is the day which is the final redemption. Mashiach will be revealed. Karen, it's definitely not ordinary person on so many levels. If you know about Karen or if you never heard about Karen, I'm going to leave a link below my video so you can go and read a little bit about her life and her legacy. Because where Karen came from, she was never a scholar or learner. She came from very secular background, but she was very spiritual always. She always drawn to spirituality, to different knowledge, different school of thoughts. And when she reunite with Rav again, and they decide to get married together, they joined the forces. And Karen was the one who actually asked Rav after she started to study with Rav and understand what is this knowledge can really can do to people and how it can improve people's life. And in a nutshell, to bring the final redemption by us to elevate our consciousness and by ending the pain and suffering in this world. So Karen was, it's hard to describe in words what one woman did for humanity. I don't think there's any other woman known in the Kabbalistic world, in humanity, who was able to bring this tremendous knowledge to masses and remind you it was almost impossible. Her life was threatened. She even went to the hospital a few times when Rav and Karen started just this journey by beating, even she was violently beaten by one of the religious community, I think in Israel. And the religious community was really joined the forces against Rav and Karen when Rav and Karen decide to open this knowledge and to open many locations all over the world. So anyone, no matter the background, religious, no matter your belief, you can come and study Kabbalistic knowledge to improve your life. No matter what your beliefs, it's not going to take it away where you came from. Opposite, it can only improve and take it to yourself, to the essence, to the soul of creation. What was the thought of creation? Because Kabbalah is really essence of any spirituality. Anything else came out. It's actually the essence was Kabbalistic knowledge. And Karen was really fighting for us, guys. You really need to understand that. She was the one, and Raf said on many occasions, if not Karen, he would never be able to bring this knowledge and to be so much inspired. Because remember, woman, she's represent vessel. And to have such a woman behind the Raf received, so to say, different wings in order he was able to channel for us even more from the nourishment, from the mission, from so much love from Karen. And Karen knew, I had a chance and married to spend time with Karen, travel with Karen, to be touched by her tremendous heart and her care. And I saw how Karen was able to humbly to communicate with anyone, no matter what background. She met with presidents, kings, and queens in the world, and she met with anyone from any background. Simple workers, people, anyone who was beside Karen felt then they important. Felt then Karen was only with them at the time when she was talking. So much learned from such a tremendous soul, and I have no words to describe of my tremendous appreciation and my so much love what Karen really left, the legacy she left behind. And I can see our children who grew up in a center, Kabbalah center, and who grew up with so much knowledge and understanding what's really spirituality. Even we can see they see world differently, how they communicate with people. we all was able to understand things in such a profound way, plus we have an opportunity to see the true example how really to behave, and saw how much Rav and Karen love each other, how much respect, how many times they fight, but only they fight only was fought only about how to teach, how to take the Kabbalah Center to the next level. What can we bring better to this world? How we can help people? This is the only fights they have between each other. The rest, it was tremendous love. When Karen used to come to room and Raf, you can see right away Raf face change. How much love, his light, his eyes. It was like such an example for us. What does really love represent? This is why they were able to touch so many souls and to bring so much love to the humanity, because they represent this love. You understand, guys? It's not just they really walk the talk. So by end this video, I really want to dedicate this video and introduce you to my dear teacher. I already post a few videos of Rav, and now I wanted to get familiar with my friend, my teacher Karen, and one of her lessons she gave, which is connect to this Shabbat. We entering to the zone of Shabbat Va'etchanan, and he begs when Moses begged Creator, and he begged Creator 515 times, and 550 times is the numerology of the word Va'etchanan. In Kabbalah, everything completely connected. And this portion has by listening even to the Torah of this portion, we will be able to awaken inside of us new understanding, new vision. Because the death, what is really death? It's illusion of the death. If person passed away, leaving this world, it's in we don't see this person, but it doesn't mean this person he's not exist, he's not here. They continue the journey even more, especially the high souls. Why we visiting tzaddikim? Because they were able to continue help us even more. But for that, we need to be open. In order for us to be open to see beyond what it's seen, we need to stop to be occupied in the small things and to be connected to illusionary of process. We need to open our hearts and our eyes and to be more focused on a nano level, on the atom level, not just the illusion. This is when the moment when we're more focused, when we're more present, when we're more forgiving, when we don't keep any unnecessary energy which is not serving us. This is the moment when our soul able to give us more visions. So I hope you guys will be inspired like I have been inspired by Karen, and definitely listen to the end. I think it's 22 minutes, the lesson about this weekly portion, and as well about the energy of Tisha B'Av. And by end of this video, Karen gives such an amazing statement. Then I remember when I was watching this video a few years ago, it's really touched my heart again and again. Okay, guys, I'm sending a lot of love and all the best. And I wish everyone Shabbat Shalom and all the best. Bye-bye. And Chag Sameach.
So today's portion is called V'yeh Hanan. It means I beg of you, basically. And it talks about Moshe praying to the Creator to allow him to enter into the Holy Land. And it says that he prays 515 different types of prayers, begging the Creator again and again and again to allow him to enter, to complete the job that he started in Egypt, and allow him to enter into the Holy Land. So there are many, many questions here. First of all, do we truly believe that Moshe was afraid to die? I mean, could that be a possibility? Moshe was to the Creator as we are to our family. Moshe was a son, a real son to the Creator. They spoke together like friends. So there's no way that we can believe that Moshe feared to leave. or that he wanted so much to remain in a corporeal body that he was begging the Creator 515 different ways to stay within the corporeal world. It's difficult for anybody to imagine that. So we need to understand what this begging on Moshe's part is about. And we understand it in many different ways. First of all, what Moshe was saying, it was his argument that if I enter into the Holy Land, I being this powerful generator of energy, then I can alter the way the place is. I can create things to happen in a faster way. I can bring energy and light into all parts of this land. I can do many things, and from that we learn is that when we are in the sviva, we're in the neighborhood, and our people around us are of spiritual inclinations, the things in our way become easier. And the reason for that is because not only do we draw upon our own energy, but we draw on the energies of those that are around us. Exactly the opposite. We can take the same thing in another direction. If we're in a den of thieves and we are spiritual and we want for the best, chances are we'll be a thief, because that's the energy which we have created for ourselves. And so what Moshe was saying, and this wasn't just a conversation between a mortal man and the divine entity that we call the Creator. Moshe was saying, listen, I failed when I brought the people that weren't capable to come out of Egypt, and we created a golden calf. So allow me to complete the job. After all, you're allowing Joseph to come into, we are carrying the bones of Joseph into the Holy Land. Why not me? And the answer that was given is a beautiful answer. The Creator said to him, they say there are two Messiahs. One is the Messiah of Joseph, and the other one is the final and the lasting redemption. And he says, if you enter into the Holy Land, then the job is over, because by your generation of energy, you will transform everything that is there, and the nature of people, the nature of the world, is anything that you don't work for usually doesn't have an appreciation, doesn't have enough of sweat and tears behind it. And therefore, and this generation is only, not even ripe yet. So we need to transform many generations down in order for these people to be worthy to see the final redemption. And you, in your energy, in your light, you will not be allowed to do this. Moshe finally understood what the Creator was saying. The Creator was saying not that he wasn't worthy, obviously the opposite. He was more than worthy. But the fact that he would enter would create a place of what we call lechem bezayon, bread of shame. And this, for the final redemption, could not happen. And the Creator was saying, and we know that too, anything that is valuable in our life, anything that we cherish in our life, anything that is important in our life, is something probably that we work for through blood, sweat, and tears. And if we don't work for it through blood, sweat, and tears, chances are what? We don't appreciate it, right? And so too it was with the entrance. And that's why Moshe talks to them, and he says to them, we're going to go through many wars and many battles, and you're going to have to fight. I mean, they're coming into a new space. Why does he first have to tell them that there's going to be so many negative things? He says, but remember, don't ever change a word of what is written here. Don't ever decide to change anything that you've seen here. I mean, why does he need to say that? And why is he addressing the people in a way like that? The answer, and this is one of the most beautiful portions of the Torah, the answer, because it gives you many things. What Moshe is saying is that there'll be generations to come, and there will be arguments, and there'll be fights, and there'll be wars, and people will leave. But in that leaving, they will cleanse until we finally get to the place that the world is capable of receiving the light of the Creator and innately connect to it. With that, there are many ways to pray. There are mostly two that are of primary importance. One is what the Greater Assembly created, and it's in our prayer books. It's a tool that says you go A, B, C, D, and you have all the words written for you. This is intellectual and analytical. And it works because it is a tool. Basically what they did is they found a way to open the combination to the safe. 4 times this way, 3 times that way, 2 times this way. It's a combination to a safe that allows our prayers to be heard by the angels in turn, which takes it to the Creator. Then there's another kind of prayer. That prayer is the one when we say, listen, I know I don't deserve it, and I don't know that it's not my place, and I don't know that I should get this, but please, God, help me, help my child, help my family, help me because I'm lost and I don't know how to find the light. And when we pray like that, we pray not with the head, but with the heart. And in those prayers, even though when we pray in the intellectual way, yes, we can open the safe and we can get inside and we can take the treasure that is there. But when Moses wanted to cure Miriam, he says, El narafan Allah, and that was the end of the prayer. Meaning that even if we don't have the words, even if we don't know how to pray through the prayer book, more powerful the prayer is the one that says, I'm empty inside. I don't know how to reach you. I don't know how to be a part of you, but please help me. The other thing we can't do is we can't say, listen, I've given charity. I've been a good person. I've helped people. Please, I need a favor over here. The answer is, you've given charity. Where did you get the money from to give the charity? So you already got the blessing. What are you asking me for now? So then you say to the Creator, well, my house is open. You know, I have friends. I bring people in. I make them feel good. Who gave you the house? Who gave you the house? And anytime we go to the Creator and explain to Him how good we are, and therefore how much we need to be helped by Him, the answer is, you're not good. You're where I put you. Now use what you've gotten to create a space to be closer to your spiritual roots. Person normally feels that when they work really hard and they become something, whatever that something is, that's the something. Now's the time when you find out if they're going to truly use the wisdom, the honor, the finance, whatever it is that a person accomplished, what will they do with it? Will they say, look how I'm such a good human being, look all the good things that I've done? Or will they say, okay, this is my starting point. What is it that the Creator is expecting of me? So when we pray and when we ask the Creator, what we're saying to Him is basically, I'm a zero. And I understand that wherever I am, I've been put here to see what I will do with it. And when we understand life that way, we draw a straight line to the Creator. The second part of this week's reading is about something that we call the Kriyat Shema. And the Kriyat Shema basically is, we say that the God of Israel, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elokeinu, the Lord is God, the Lord is one. And there are many questions. One is, why do we have to use the word God twice? Why not once? Why do we have to say, if we know He's the Creator, of course He's one. What is He, 2 or 3? Of course He is. But that's basically not what it's talking about. Because the first time the word is used, the word is the Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is the tetragrammaton. And the next word that is used is Elokeinu, which represents this world. It means for us that when our desire to receive for the self alone, converts into that desire to receive in order to share, in order to accomplish a point of us that is open for that, then we become one with the Creator. Because the Creator's essence is only to give of His beneficence. This is the reason that the world was created, so that there would be a place in which the Creator could give of His divine light. And that's what we're talking about. And then we have this very large ayin and dalet, the two letters. And the two letters together combine the word ed, which means witness. And what is the witness? I am the witness. You are the witness. We are the witness. Meaning what? Witness to what? That everything, every person that we meet, every action that we do, everything in our life is a way, part of a ladder to get to a place that we understand that when we make waves, when we act negatively to other people, when we're not in the space that we don't want to share of ourselves, that we feel terrible, we wake up in the morning and everything's black, and who wants to be part of this? That's the time when we need to be echad, one. That's the time when it's so important. Why? Because this is at the beginning, this particular prayer is said at least twice a day. And not only that, it says that if we do this prayer twice a day, there's a special angel that's waiting there to sort of cause chaos in our lives. And when we don't say it, we don't create this boundary around ourselves that separates us from these particular angels. It's number one. And then it says something else. It says that we should love the Creator with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our mind. And we know there are three parts to a human being, right? It's body, it's mind, and spirit. But what it's talking about is, how do you love somebody or something that you don't relate to? How can I love God? I don't see Him, really. I don't feel Him, really. I don't feel His embrace on my body, really. But I feel your embrace, and I can feel your love, and I can feel your mind. And if I can learn to share with you, and I can learn to be a part of you, I can learn to love God, because God exists here and there. But for us to love God with all our heart, and with all our soul, with all our strength, is when that person comes towards you and you know that it's a nudnik, and it's somebody you don't want to talk to and you don't want to be a part of, and they come over to you and you say, "Hi, how are you? Can I help you?" That's to love God. That when I go to sleep at night and I wake up in the morning and I say, "Oh heck, I have to go there, I got to see these people, I got to talk to them," and I don't do that. I say, if this is my mission for today, and if this is what I have to do, and I do it, and I do it with love. And that is the true idea of loving God with all your heart and with all your soul. That every step of the way, from the moment you wake up in the morning to the way you go to sleep at night, is with a consciousness that everybody around me is part of this mass universal symphony. Every soul. And you know, one of the teachers that were here last night, who never saw this before, and she noticed that everybody was hugging each other, and she said, "Wow, look what they're doing. They're healing each other." Okay? She put it into that vein. And the reason for it, and you've heard me say this before, there's a certain hormone called oxytocin, that when you hug and when you come close to somebody, it sort of gives this energy of healing. This is what the Creator is asking of us. Yeah, He wants us to pray, because He enjoys the idea that for a moment we go away from our routine, from our head that tells us that we need this, and we need this, and we need this, and we need this, and we got to get to this point, and we go to the place where we say, nothing is important but my connection to the Creator. Then the third part, can you imagine the third part? One is the message of Moses. The second is the Shema, and the third is the 10 Commandments themselves, the 10 utterances, which we'll speak about, which we'll hear today. And the first of the commandments is sort of like a statement. It's a rhetoric statement. It isn't a commandment, right? It says, I'm the Lord thy God, who brought thee out of the house of bondage, out of the land of Egypt, right? So, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? And the answer is, it doesn't mean that. It means that no man should ever be another man's slave. The other, and slave to what? Well, we're all slaves to something or other. Some of us are slaves to business. Some of us are slaves to power. Some of us are slaves of where am I going to be, how I'm going to be remembered, how I'm going to establish myself in this world. We have all types of slavery. And the message of these 10 utterances is in parallel to the Shema. Because if we understand in everything that we do, that when the bill collector comes knocking on our door and decides to close our house, we say to ourselves, you know what? For me, at this moment, that's what I have to happen to me. When a friend comes to me and says to me, you know, you acted like a total toad, and I don't want to be close to you anymore, or something like that, our explanation is, wow, I think there's something that I need to change inside of me, instead of our total reaction. And so, out of the house of bondage means one thing. It means that if we go into that place, always cognizant that I will do my very best, at my very best. But if my best is not enough, then that's what I need to do. Just that. I will never be in my own bondage as well. If I were put into a bondage situation, if I was locked up, or if I had a space that I needed to be in, or if I was in bed with an illness that I couldn't move, is also a bondage. It could never encapsulate my soul. It could never encapsulate my connection to the divinity of the light. If I can go into that headspace, that's the only way that we can be totally free. We can be totally free. In the understanding that whatever is, never combine my internal nature. Because that spirit which was given to me, that spirit is free and will never be bound. And there's the other part, which is an interesting thing. In the part where it says, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, etc., every one of those, there is a letter Vav, except in the word lo titzah, not to kill. And the reason that the Vav doesn't exist in thou shalt not kill is because the Vav is the connection between the upper world and the lower world. It's the thing that brings the light down. The reason that the Vav doesn't exist there is because we are afforded an opportunity that if we convert totally that energy of negativity into a positive thing, if we stop destroying the world as we do, if the companies stop throwing chemical waste into our water, or blowing into our air toxic fumes, or the other things that the massive industries do to our world, and that we do in some way, then there'll never be a place where there will be death. Death happens because people put death into the world. It is possible to remove death from the world, to put the Vav into Lo Titzach, but it's up to us to create that space to happen. That's why there's only in Lo Titzach, if you read it, you'll see it, is there no Vav in that word. And of course, this all depends on one thing. Our ability, you, me, and everybody else, of those of us that have consciousness, to understand that by so creating this space of understanding, by keeping our mind focused, that I truly want to be free. I want to be free. I want, irregardless of where I sit in my life, I want to understand that this is a test, that this is a cleansing, that this is a way of growth for me. And I will accept every challenge that way, is the only way we can be free. This particular week, with all these marvelous things that we will have in it and the energy that we will receive from it, is the first, they say, the first Shabbat of consolation after the Shabbat. And we will read in the prophets that a form of saying, that the temple will be rebuilt and that people will be able to congregate together and we will be renewed and we'll have, and these particular different readings will happen for the 7 Shabbatot until we get to Rosh Hashanah. But for us, every time we fall, every time we try and fail, every time we pick a determined spot in our life to create a project and it falls to pieces, remember, it's only because there's one rung of the ladder up, we still have to go. And when we finally create a place that we receive into ourselves and it works and we're happy, don't be so proud. It works and it's happy because we made a plateau. There'll be a plateau after that perhaps will even be more difficult. But we should accept that difficulty because in that difficulty is the growth that we need to become that spiritual soul who we are. Shabbat Shalom.